esoteric perspective. Now, check this out. Today, the main subject that I want to speak about is subtle energy. Subtle, because essentially, the human being nowadays has been disconnected from who they truly are. Now, what I want to speak about is my personal experience. It's an anecdote and basically kind of what happened. So, I'm going to give a testimony, kind of what happened this morning. So, I did my daily routine, and which whereby I go to the nearest coffee shop and do my introspection through journaling and reading as well. And I like to really pay attention to my body and just how my energy is interacting with my surroundings. And and usually this is a good practice because you get to feel essentially how you're interacting with other people, energetically speaking, because we all carry a certain electromagnetic field. Now, if you want to know more about that, you can read books like Letting Go or Power versus Force by David Hawkins, and they will tell you more about the map of consciousness and so forth. But getting back to my point, I as I'm getting more grounded within my energetic field, I was walking back and I noticed that whenever I make eye contact with somebody, I notice if I feel good or I feel bad. And essentially it's an energetic exchange because they do say that your eyes are the window to your soul. So essentially I did feel that whenever I made eye contact with some people, my energy felt down. And with some people, I was my normal self, which is essentially centered and peaceful. So, and one interaction that really stood out was as I was walking on this path, there was this woman, right? And I think I've seen her before, but it really kind of threw me off because out of respect, I was walking along this path and I see her coming. And obviously, like my spirit doesn't really sit well. I already can feel it because I'm introspecting and I'm paying attention to my energy. So, as I was walking on this path, I got off the path in order to let her pass. But she got off the path, and keep in mind there's nobody on the path. So she got off the path and we're going to meet face to face. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, just stay on the path and we can just go past each other and life goes on. But I noticed this and then I just immediately go back on the original path and kept walking. But that interaction made me really introspect even more because essentially what made me realize is that I'm the source. I've always been the source. So, and I tend to have this magnetic pull that I pull all different type of opportunities, and I wouldn't say people, but because I've been working on this energetic, I would say serendipity or synchronicity with everything around me. So essentially, as my self-worth goes up, my Taurus field increases. So what am I getting at here? Subtle energy. It's so important because when you tend to be disconnected with who you are and the source, and you indulge in pleasure and these different type of activities whereby they don't bring harmony and serendipity towards your life, you run away from the intelligence, the divine intelligence inbuilt in you. And this is a problem because you have to start realizing your own self and coming back to who you really are. And again, there's certain practices that you can do. I will never stop saying this because it's very important. Again, introspection is the first step. getting one with nature. If it's with the four elements, right? Fire, that's the sun. You got earth, so involve yourself in grounding activities. Go out to nature barefoot and absorb all the electrons from the earth. That aids in getting rid of inflammation. There's all these benefits that come with that. And sometimes if you live close to an ocean, go into the ocean and you'll see how it feels. It releases so much stress. And this is anecdotal, right? Because I've felt this before. Whenever I go out to my closest, I would say, in a section between land and water, it's a beach. But I go out there and I go into the water, then I sunbathe, and oh my goodness, it just feels so good. So try for yourself. I'm all for self-experimentation. And air, prana, breathing, right? Breathe correctly. Move up that energy from the pelvic floor all the way up through your spine onto your head and back down to your solar plexuses, so that your energy, there's energy motility, so that everything that you say, all the words that are coming out of you are charged with energy. And you can feel it, because I'm fully present in this moment, because I involve myself in these activities. And you can see, look at my skin, look at my temperament, right? That's the name of the game. So essentially what I'm saying to you is subtle energy. If you don't involve yourself with improving or recognizing this subtle energy through exercises to strengthen your nervous system, then there's just some things whereby then the world kind of just moves by, and you just go through this, I would say mandated, but this circular loop of activities that don't give you real fulfillment. The greatest joy is self-discovery. So do the work so that you can really find out more about self-improvement and essentially increasing the power of your nervous system. So do the work and then self-experiment and tell me how you feel. Cheers.